They say secrets always find their way to the light. But on my birthday, of all days, my husband walked through the door holding the biggest secrets of our entire marriage. A secret he had hidden for 30 long years. He didn't come alone. He brought the family I never knew existed. And all I did was smile and hand him a box I had been saving for 3 decades. This is the story of that box. My birthday started normally. A quiet morning, a cake cooling on the counter, a house that smelled like vanilla and calmness. I was turning 52, a strange age, old enough to know patterns, young enough to still hope. David, my husband, sent me a message earlier. Be ready at 6. I have a big surprise. I thought maybe a dinner, a gift, a memory we could share. But at 6 p.m., the doorbell rang, and life did something it rarely does politely. It broke. David walked in first, his hands shaking, his eyes refusing to meet mine. Behind him, a woman nearly my age, 2 grown children, a whole world standing silently in my living room. The girl, Emma, looked at me with guilt. The boy, Luke, looked nervous. The woman, Evelyn, looked like she wanted to disappear. David opened his mouth to speak, and I felt time simply stop. For years, I suspected, not because I was insecure, but because women know. We feel absence even when bodies are present. We hear silence even when words are loud. We see patterns before men see consequences. Little slips, late nights, sudden business trips, emotional distance, stories that didn't match timelines. I never had proof, but my heart kept whispering, "You're not the only one." Still, I stayed, not because I was weak, but because I believe that truth comes out when it's ready. I told myself, if he ever wants to live honestly, I will be here to see it. Turns out, today was that day. David finally spoke. Maya, this is my other family. The words hung in the air like dust in sunlight, broken, floating, impossible to ignore. Evelyn stepped forward. Her voice shook. We didn't come to cause pain. We came because he said it was time. Emma wiped a tear. Luke looked at his shoes. David looked at me as if waiting for me to collapse. But I didn't. I simply said, I know. His head snapped up. You know? I nodded. I've known for a long, long time. Evelyn gasped softly. The children looked at each other. I continued. A woman doesn't stay because she doesn't know. She stays because she's waiting for the truth to show its face. David whispered, Then why didn't you say anything? And with the calmness of someone who already walked through the storm, I replied, Because truth always arrives on time, and today, it walked right through my front door. I turned, opened the cabinet, and took out a small, beautifully wrapped box. It wasn't new. The wrapping paper wasn't fresh. The ribbon had a little dust. Because this box was not packed today. Not packed this year. Not packed this decade. I had filled it slowly over 30 years. I placed it gently in his hands. Happy birthday to me. And a big surprise for you. David stared at the box like it was ticking. What's inside? Open it. He unwrapped it with trembling fingers. Inside the box were old phone records, photos he never knew I saw, bank receipts, messages he thought he deleted, a DNA test, notes I wrote to myself, silent proofs collected over time. His entire double life in a single box. He looked at me with disbelief, anger, guilt, sorrow, everything at once. You were spying on me. I shook my head. No, I was watching the man I loved and the man he was becoming. The room was silent. Even his hidden family didn't know what to say. Emma whispered, "We didn't mean to break your life." I looked at her gently. "You didn't break anything, sweetheart. You're not responsible for the choices of adults." Evelyn's eyes filled with tears. "I didn't know he was still with you." My voice softened. "He promised you a life, and he promised me one too. But lies don't age well. Eventually, they come home." Then I handed David a final paper, my separation agreement. Not out of revenge, not out of hate, but out of clarity. I told him, "You can sign today or walked out without signing. Either way, I'm done sharing you." David began to cry. "Maya, please, don't do this. I can fix it." I shook my head. "You can't fix 30 years of truth in one night, and I'm not asking you to." I stepped aside, giving him space, giving myself space. "This isn't punishment," I whispered. "This is release. For both of us." Evelyn held her children close. David stared at the box like it was a mirror he had avoided his whole life. I walked to the table, lit my birthday candle, and smiled softly. For the first time in 30 years, I can finally make a wish for myself. So, on my birthday, the truth finally came home, and I finally walked out of the shadows, not broken, not bitter, but reborn.